Welcome to HeavieTalk. I'm your girl, Heavie Charnice, aka Heavie, and I'm back in episode of HeavieTalk. Here to serve up some more straight talk with no chaser. Happy HeavieTalk Friday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get right into today's episode. Give me your inspiration, your word of the day. Today's word is resets. Use this month and fall season as a reset. Start fresh. Don't wait until the new year to reset. This was perfect with the fall season, with the new month. A lot of people do, New Year's resolutions where I'm going to start this once the new year hits. That's good and all, but why wait a whole 3 months? Just start doing it now. Kick off your new month just like you would kick off a new year. No time like the present because you just never know with today's age. Seize the moment, take charge, reset now. I want to start today's topics with some history because I love history in general. Whenever history is made, I love to discuss it, and I especially like to discuss it when it involves Black people, Black excellence, Black representations. So I want to clap it up for Laphonza Butler. She was just sworn into the Senate this week, replacing the late Senator Dianne Feinstein. Laphonza Butler made history as the first openly lesbian Black senator to serve in Congress. That's not just it. She also became the third Black woman to ever serve in the Senate. So clap it up for Laphonza Butler. Continue to put Black women on display. Continue to show us that Black representation is key, and it is absolutely beyond me that in 2023, we just now are getting to 3 Black women who've been ever in the Senate. WT and the F. Now let's get into HBCU homecomings. It is homecoming season, especially for my HBCUs. Before I get into that, I want to send thoughts and prayers to all those that were impacted by the shooting that recently happened at Morgan State University. It was like right before their homecoming was set to kick off. 5 people were shot. 4 of them were Morgan State students, and from the article that I read, it said that the ages range from 18 to 22. So these are like babies trying to be out having a good time at homecoming, and the shooting breaks out. So that's absolutely heartbreaking. So thoughts and prayers to everyone that was impacted by that. And shortly after the shooting, the school announced that they were going to cancel homecoming. And for what I read, this was the first time that homecoming was canceled in the school's history. But honestly, what can you really do? It's in the best interest of the students. They're trying to keep them safe. So that was kind of the best thing to do. So with that said, I want to offer a couple of homecoming safety tips, not really for homecoming in general, just some things to just keep in mind when you're out and about. First tip, stay vigilant. Always pay attention to your surroundings. Better safe than sorry. Second tip, never walk alone. I've always been told buddy system, so bank on the buddy system. Try to go in pairs if you can. Always watch your drink. Don't just, especially if you're at a bar or a party, don't just leave your drink and walk away. If you can, take your drink with you. And even if you have your drink in your hand, a creep may try to drop something in there as they're walking past. Before you drink, just look in there. If you see something that's strange, that's bubbling, that's fizzling, just pour it out, get another one if you can. Better safe than sorry. Share your location with somebody. With Apple, I don't know about any of these other devices, but with Apple, you can definitely share your location indefinitely for I think it's like an hour, whatever the case may be. Share it with someone that you trust, because if something does happen or pop off, at least someone may know where you're at. And this technology has gotten so advanced that even if your phone is off or it's dead, your location is still findable, from what I think I know. And if you can't, for some reason, share a location, always tell somebody where you're going. Don't just go somewhere and then no one has no clue. Tell at least one person. Gotta be safe than sorry. And my last safety tip, leave no one behind. If y'all all came together, y'all all leave together. Don't fall for that. I'm going to stay with this person. I'm just going to go later. I'm not ready to leave. No. If y'all all rode together, walked in together, that's how it should be. Don't leave anybody by themselves. Those are my safety tips, just trying to keep y'all safe out here, especially during homecoming season. A couple homecomings are coming up this weekend, HBCU homecoming, I should say, Alabama A&M and Alcorn, and also next week, Jackson State are having their homecoming, Grambling, Bethune-Cookman, Tennessee State, and Tuskegee. And you know that I have to shout out my school, the illustrious North Carolina A&T, our homecoming, which we call GHO. Do you know what it means? Greatest homecoming on earth. GHO. Yes, yes, yes. Our homecoming is on November 4th. Speaking of the illustrious North Carolina A&T, did you know that my school was just named the largest HBCU for the 10th year in a row? 10 times we have been the largest HBCU. Clap it up for us. For this academic year, more than 13,000 students are enrolled. That's quite a bit. And more with A&T, Aggie Pride, greatness. Clap it up for our Chancellor. Chancellor Dr. Harold Martin has announced his retirement from the university. Chancellor Martin, Dr. Martin was a legend during my time at A&T. You did your thing, sir. He was the largest serving HBCU or chancellor in the nation. Clap it up for that Aggie Pride. And speaking of A&T, did you know that VP, the Vice President of the United States, Ms. Kamala Harris, visited North Carolina A&T? Yes, she did. She visited A&T during her Fight for Our Freedoms college tour. So she went on this college tour. Well, she's still on it. She will be going through it throughout this month, where she was just visiting different colleges, which are going to be in key states when the upcoming election, just to encourage students to exercise their rights. Here are some of the colleges that she has visited and will visit. She visited Hampton University on September 14th. She was at North Carolina A&T, the illustrious, on September 15th. She also was at Morehouse College. She'll be visiting the University of Wisconsin-Madison, College of Southern Nevada in Las Vegas, and Northern Arizona University. I talked about this because this is what I predicted a long time ago, and a couple episodes ago, I talked about the fact that these parties, both parties, Republican and Democrat, know that in these upcoming elections, a lot of power will rest with my generation. They know that it may even be decided by the votes of my age group. So they're taking all different kinds of measures to try to influence our vote. Let's talk about what happened at Temple University. The acting president, Ms. Epps, died shortly after becoming ill during a memorial service. She was the first Black woman to serve as Temple's president. She was the acting president at that time. What I want to talk about here is that she fell ill right before a memorial service, and after she fell ill, the service went on as planned, leading a lot of people to be upset. I guess from their point of view, they maybe have wanted the service to be postponed or briefly put on pause, but that didn't happen. So it just kind of left a bad taste in people's mouth. Transitioning to the Heavie Sports Corner, something else that left a bad taste in people's mouth, which is, to me, same situation with Dr. Epps, just different circumstances maybe. The trade that involved Jrue Holiday. So this Jrue Holiday situation, his trade, has just left people feeling like business in general can just be a bit foul. So Jrue Holiday was a player for the Milwaukee Bucks. He was recently traded to the Portland Trailblazers before he was traded to the Celtics. But right before his trade from the Milwaukee Bucks, he talked about that he would like to retire with the Bucks. I mean, literally right before he made these comments, and like right after that, he was traded. These are his exact comments. Before I even won here, I think I said I'm a Buck for life, and I mean that like deep in my heart. I don't want to play for any other team. I think we have a chance to continue to do great things as the Bucks team and organization, so I want to be in Milwaukee. When he made those comments, there was a lot of articles posted about it, talking about his love for Milwaukee, how he wants to retire there, how noble that is. I mean, shortly after he made these comments, he was traded. Completely, seemingly out of the blue. If just the fact that he made these comments and then shortly after, if that just wasn't foul enough, then add in the fact that his wife made a statement about this whole ordeal, and these were her comments that she posted on her Instagram page. I'm sharing this so many people so people can see the humans behind the business transactions, because contrary to the cliche, it's personal, meaning there are people's lives that are impacted. It's never just business. On Wednesday, my husband took a nap. He woke up to the news that he had been moved. No warning, no heads up, not even a conversation that it could be a possibility. Just it's done, now move on, because it's not personal, it's business. So yes, this is more than business, not because we're offended by it, but because we are people, we're humans, we have relationships, dreams, and the connection where we play. The man had no clue. Went took a nap as a Buck. Wake up, I'm a Blazer. Couldn't even give the man a heads up. Couldn't even give him a phone call so that he even know. This situation reminds me of the Isaiah Thomas ordeal with the Celtics. If you don't know, I think it was the 2016-17 playoffs. Isaiah Thomas was absolutely balling out with the Celtics. During this playoffs, he found out that his younger sister had tragically passed away in a car accident. The next day after she passed, there was a game. You would think maybe he took the game off. He's got a lot going on. He's grieving. No, the man played in that game. There's this viral video of him during warm-ups. He was inconsolable. He was on the bench. He was crying. Teammates were comforting him. Still, game started. He went out there and absolutely balled out. Took the Celtics to, I believe, the Eastern Conference Finals. That same summer, where he balled out, lost his sister, still played, he was traded. That to me is just as foul, and it makes me think of Jrue Holiday. I get it, business is business, it's not personal, but I still think that business can be done with some sense of morals and ethics, because as Jrue Holiday's wife said, we're still people. It can seem like just his business transaction, but real people are being impacted by this. So I think it should be treated as such. Lighten it up, more sports, Jimmy Butler. Have y'all seen Jimmy Butler's media day photo? Good night. Good night. Jimmy Butler is a character. That's all I can really say. The man is a character. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, I am glad that we are all coming together as a united front. We are all sick of the NFL's coverage of Travis Kelce And Taylor Swift, every time she like goes to a game, I am sure I would bet on it that there have been many other instances where an entertainer has been seeing or dated athlete, and it has not been covered like this at all whatsoever. Like, we have not, it's never been done like this. It's getting overboard. After the last game, the NFL changed their bio to like Chiefs 2-0 since the Swifties or something like that. They've just been leaning into it so much. Not only are we sick of it, Travis Kelce himself said that he believes that the NFL is overdoing it a bit. He was on a podcast where his brother said they're definitely overdoing it, and Travis Kelce said they're overdoing it a bit. The NFL can tell that we're getting sick of it, so they put out a statement, which I'm not buying. This is what they said. We frequently change our bios and profile imagery based off what's going on, based off what's happening in and around our games, as well as culturally. The Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce news has been a pop cultural moment we've leaned into in real time, as it's an intersection of sports and entertainment, and we've seen an incredible amount of positivity around the sports. I'm not buying it. It's a pop cultural moment. Are you kidding me? This is what they lean into, but not like more important matters like social justice, social impacts. I don't see them really changing their profile bios or imagery about anything like that, but we'll do it for some nonsense of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Yeah, okay. If I wasn't just buying it because the statement was like blah, I definitely wasn't buying it after more reports have come out about this whole ordeal. Apparently, allegedly, the NFL pushed its TV networks, NBC, CBS, Fox, and ESPN, to run free Taylor Swift movie promos this past week. Fox and CBS didn't do it, but NBC and ESPN did. You said just leaning into it because it's a pop cultural moment. So that's why you're changing your bios and your profile imagery. But what's up with y'all allegedly trying to run free Taylor Swift movie promos? I don't know. No. If that wasn't enough, some TV executives apparently think that the NFL's end goal is to get Taylor Swift for a Super Bowl halftime show. I'm here to tell you right now, if she's booked for halftime, I'm not watching it. And I might just protest because you have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. What I find hilarious with this whole thing, I even think that the Chiefs are sick of this nonsense. Now, if you're familiar with an ordeal between Kanye West and Taylor Swift a couple years ago, then this may make complete sense to you. You might find this comical as I did. On the Chiefs' Twitter account, they posted some team photos, which included a picture of Travis Kelce. And their only caption was, "All the lights." That's a bar in itself. Let's get into all the things that happened with WTF for today's episode, because the streets have definitely been a-raging. Let's start with Prada designing the spacesuits for NASA's upcoming mission. You're telling me that NASA used money to ask Prada to design spacesuits? There's nothing else that we could have done with the money that I'm sure that they gave Prada for those spacesuits? Okay, WTF. More WTF, which leads into my conspiracy theories and speculation that something is going on with planet Earth, which is why people trying to discover if we can live deep in the sea, and it's been a lot of missions going to space, to the moon, trying to see what's going on with Mars. I don't know. It's getting a little fishy. Apparently, NASA plans to build houses on the moon by 2040. These houses will be made from moon minerals like dust and rocks to protect residents from the moon's harsh conditions. NASA also plans on creating a subdivision on Mars. What's this new urgency to try to create life somewhere other than Earth? Interesting, WTF. Adding to the point that I just made, apparently humans and mammals may only exist on Earth for another 250 million years. Now that may seem like, okay, I'm going to be long gone. But here's what the article I read also said. Oh, a volcanic supercontinent may be coming to Earth. A new study predicts that Earth continents are set to collide and form a major block of land that's too hot and too dry to live on, making it impossible for humans and other mammals to survive. My. WT in the F. This should be on every mainstream news outlet. Speaking of going back to, we give Prada money to design spacesuits, but in New Orleans, they're almost out of fresh water. President Biden has declared a federal emergency for a saltwater intrusion in the Mississippi River, which is threatening New Orleans' water infrastructure. Residents aren't sure how much longer they'll have access to drinkable water. So we're going to add New Orleans to the list that doesn't have fresh drinking water, adding them to Jackson, Mississippi, and Flint, Michigan. But we're giving Prada money for spacesuits. All right, WTF. Researchers in Japan have confirmed that microplastics are present in clouds and that they are likely affecting the climate in ways that are not yet fully understood. Something is going on with the planets. I need a bunker. This is just beyond me. This is wow. A Las Vegas mother suffered a devastating loss after CVS mistakenly gives her abortion medicine. The lady had trouble conceiving, so she used IVF, became pregnant, was going to the pharmacy to get medication, normal pregnancy medication, and dare I call them fools. These fools gave her abortion medicine. If it was me, it would be having CVS. It would be something completely different because I'm taking them to the cleaners. Condolences to her, thoughts and prayers. Please sue them. But at that point, do you even care? Because you've suffered a devastating, a massive loss. Toys R Us is making a comeback. Clap it up for the good WTF moments. Toys R Us plans to open 24 stores across the U.S. This will include stores at airports and cruise ships. I love to see it. Throughout my childhood, I can fondly remember trips to Toys R Us, racking up on those toys. Finally, let's get some more toys instead of these iPads. Like, these kids are just iPadding to death. WTF this one. A woman is suing Disney World after going down a slide that caused a wedge that required surgery. Apparently, a woman was going down a slide. The impact of the slide was so severe that it caused her clothes to be painfully forced in between her legs, and water was pushed into her, causing her to just bleed, like blood rushed out of her legs. She needed immediate surgery. So she's suing Disney World, as she should. But WTF, it's not even safe to get on a Disney World slide? My goodness. WTF, what are happening to the pandas? All pandas in American zoos are being taken back to China. According to this article from USA Today, there will be no pandas in the US for the first time since 1972, after the US's zoo agreement with China are set to expire. What we do to China where they won't even renew our panda agreement? So now we're not gonna have any panda? WTF. Clap it up for another good WTF moment. Princeton University will be free for students whose families make less than $100K a year. According to this article, families earning less than $100K annually will not have to pay tuition or room and board. Additionally, families making up to $300K will also receive additional support. More schools need to do stuff like that, especially it's becoming especially evident with these student loan payments kicking up. Like, I seen mine in my chest started hurting. Like, my. WTF, Netflix got us messed up. Netflix is raising its prices again in the upcoming months. This is WTF because Netflix just raised their prices last year. I'm going to have to get rid of Netflix because what you're not going to do is just keep raising these prices on me. Like, this is ridiculous. WTF, a lady is allergic to water. According to this lady, she said her scalp bleeds after showering. This is caused from a rare condition that causes her to break out in welts and hives, even from her own tears and sweats. Now, with this rare condition, it only impacts 250 people worldwide, but still, WTF, how are you even supposed to shower if you're allergic to water? And sweating is natural. I'm probably sweating right now. I don't understand how she's even gonna get through life. She's just gonna be EpiPenning herself all the time. Because sweat, tears, it's like everywhere. It happens often, quite often. I couldn't imagine. Gross. Have y'all seen that Paris, France, is infected with bed bugs? How disgusting is that? That wraps up today's episode on all things HeavieTalk WTF. Hope that you enjoyed it. I will catch you here for HeavieTalk with No Chaser. Same place, same time. Making sure that you're taking heed of our word, our inspiration of the day. Reset, kick off your new month on the right note. I'm your girl Heavie, and I'm out.